Christ is the one in all authority, not Satan. So none of you, and I mean none of you, if you are truly born again Christians, should ever fear a demon. You should never be intimidated by a demon. Angry, annoyed, irritated, aggravated, all of the above is fine, but not afraid. Pat with Pat's 2 cents. This is a snippet from a lecture I gave for a classroom online, and we're dealing with why we are not to fear demons and what it's going to be like in the tribulation period when the tribulation saints are fallen under the spell of the Antichrist. And this is read from my paraphrase commentary from John's point of view. So, John says, I watch as he is mortally wounded in one of his heads. Then when his fatal wound is healed, the whole world looks on with sheer wonder and speechless amazement. This is the Antichrist's copy of the resurrection of Christ. God creates, the enemy imitates. All right. It's a copy of the resurrection of Christ, from death to life. For those of you who don't believe, God did put the power into Satan to bring something to life. Read Exodus 7, verse 10 through 12. It's God-given power, not Satan conjured power. All right. 13, verse 4. This phenomenon alone is what ignites the rapid spread of hypnotic deception as the flames of worldwide devil worship burn deep in so many hearts. Keep in mind that God creates while the devil only imitates. Take a close look at how the resurrection of Jesus is emulated by the beast. As a result, the world is convinced that he is Jesus, the true Messiah. Here the beast, the Antichrist, which gets his power from Satan, is also highly praised along with him. So together the beast and the dragon are idolized and adulated by the masses. Words of exuberant exultation fill the air. Who is like this magnificent creature? Talking about the beast. Who would have the audacity to stand up to him in opposition? In the eyes of the world, or popular opinion, the dragon, Satan, and the beast, the political dictator of the world, the Antichrist, are invincible. Verse 5. The Antichrist possesses a hellish mouth. He has a foul, slippery tongue, full of grandiose speeches and sacrilegious profanity, opposing God, in defiance of him. He is allowed by God the space in time and is given the authority for only a 3.5 year period, the Great Tribulation. All right, 13:6. So that is exactly what he does without apology. He disrespects God and his name with repeated counts of blasphemy with abandon. He even goes as far as to blaspheme God's temple, the abomination of desolation, and all that is in heaven. 7. He is even given license to persecute the tribulation saints. Remember, we're out of the picture now. The tribulation saints. These saints are people saved during the tribulation period to oppress both them and all of the inhabitants of the whole world everywhere in every language. Here we see a perfect example of a heartless, narcissistic leader who cruelly abuses the very people who are deeply devoted to him, and they don't have a clue who this is that they are pledging all their allegiance to, nor do they know how he truly feels about them. And it is not love he feels either. It is nothing but mockery, cruel hatred, and contempt. Read the eye-opening details in the next paragraph. This text about the Antichrist, it brings to mind dynamics of committing one's life to abusive lovers. Like the Antichrist, at first they look good, smell good, sound good, and feel good. Mr. and Mrs. Wonderful. They know just what to say, and they do all the right things. As the relationship unfolds and the charm seems to get stronger, even sweeter every day, the unsuspecting significant other is willingly falling under a spell. "Come into my parlor," said the spider to the fly. The book of Proverbs illustrates this delusional deception so eloquently in an allegorical form. I'm almost done. It's an ominous depiction of one who is seriously stuck on stupid. Proverbs 23, verses 29 through 35, in a summary, begins with a question in verse 29. Who has woe? In other words, they're asking which one is full of sorrow, misery, anguish. Another question asks, who has wounds without cause? Who is in harm's way, living from injury, to harm, to heartache? Here the writer poses a question to make one think. Then in verse 30, he answers his own question. They that tarry long at the wine. They that go to seek mixed wine. Mixed wine is a type of moral decay and degeneracy, and this is where it gets really bad. When one comes under the influence of or in control by a hypnotic spell, as with those who take the mark of the beast, all common sense disappears while looking down the barrel of one's inescapable demise, like admiring the Antichrist. Proverbs 23 continues in verse 31 through 33. We see the spell at work, influencing and warping one's sense of judgment, wisdom, and perceptions. In 31 it says, not to gaze at the wine while the color is red. It really says, look not thou upon the wine when it giveth its color in the cup, when it moves itself aright. You know how you look at this is a quick aside. You know how you hold a thing of wine, or you see people on TV, they move the wine around, especially red wine, and it moves around and looks so enticing and inviting. Yes. Well, that's what it's saying. Don't get caught up in the gaze, because you can fall up under a hypnotic spell. When it gives its color in the cup, when it moves itself aright. This describes the hypnotic state of one giving all of one's attention and falling into temptation while doing so. Then in the last verse, the consequences are so clearly spelled out. At the last, it biteth like a serpent, and it stingeth like an adder. And I'm going to stop right there. But I just wanted you to get a feel of what we're studying. In the book of Revelation, there are so many key ingredients that help you understand the format, the formula, the run of events. It is the most chronologically written book in the Bible. And the more you dig in, the more you will understand. This is the part I love the most. It gives you hope. Why? Because following Christ shows you that Christ is the one in all authority, not Satan. So none of you, and I mean none of you, if you are truly born again Christians, should ever fear a demon. You should never be intimidated by a demon. Angry, annoyed, irritated, aggravated, all of the above is fine, but not afraid, because you serve a risen Savior.